Hello, and welcome to another video. Thought I'd continue on with the building your own shell adventure I'm on, I guess. So the next one that I can kind of go through some tests, I guess. Single quotes, or like just all quotes, I guess, eventually. Yeah, so we'll have single, then double, then do lots of things. So Yeah, so single quotes is just the literal everything in between. So this one should be reasonably easy. I did have a shower thought, I guess. Those thoughts that you're like, maybe this should be happening all the time. When we get this argument, I think this sort of check should be getting done when you get the argument, if that makes sense. So my reasoning is, if I can go CD tilde and that goes somewhere. I can also go CD dash. Potentially, I'll do that, and I think that is set by like old PWD. So like. Maybe if I say that's 10, and if I go, yeah, so CD dash, just kind of it goes to the last thing. So it sets a environment variable, which I don't know, maybe I don't want to do that. But I do want to just check that. Uh, do, 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 do. That's no. Cool. Yes. So I was thinking that you can also use that tool anywhere. That's maybe a bad example. If I go echo, that it'll kind of set it. Maybe if I do something cursed like that, it still knows what it is, and that's because the shell kind of knows it. Yeah, so it, it's kind of interesting. And what does this do if we do something like that? I don't know. The point is that we can do something like that, and if I go and run things, and if I go echo tilde, it just does a tilde. And I think the thing I want to happen is it to actually kind of do all of this stuff, which is quite giant. I think it's like pretty much all of this. Yeah, so if arg is null, we throw an error. Otherwise, we pretty much want to copy all of that, maybe even delete it. Boom, it's deleted. And then we can do some changing there. And I want to, in read arg, I want to check for such a thing. So no, I just want to go to the definition of that. Right, so we read a thing, and I think if the first thing is yeah, if the first thing is tilde, we can do a thing there. And we can kind of change the structure of how we're doing it. So this should potentially be just a switch now, because I mean it's doing a few different cases. So the compiler probably does it, but kind of how if else if chain will work, it'll have like lots of disparate jumps and labels, whereas if I turn it into a switch, how the compiler will do it is it will kind of be able to just jump to an offset based on like what it is, and it will just compile it into that sort of thing. But yeah, I am wondering whether I do something like this and switch over that, and it'll also stop us reading a like dereferencing memory every 2 seconds. Right, so here we can just go break, and here we can doing slow travel again. Slow travel. Right, and maybe like pump that out, go there, do that. I do kind of still want to do this, go back to where it was. And we can do a break or something like that. And then this can be like C2 that, C2 that, yeah. And we'll get a case and maybe still do all of this. And that means here we will do a break, and here this will just be a default. So the default will be to do something like that, and then we'll get that whole thing. So what I kind of want to do is change this into like we can just do it by the pointer and not kind of it'll make it a bit more efficient as well. We're not like kind of duplicating some string with a tilde at the front and then being like, that's got a tilde at the front, then like split it out and make a new chunk of memory to do it. So this way we're kind of doing it in the stream, and if the first character of an argument is a tilde, then it will do some things. Similar to when we have a single quote, which is what this whole thing is, but I'm just sidetracking into making the arguments a bit more robust, I guess, and does the same thing all the time. So I guess here, the arg1, we can potentially just so like it's kind of interesting. I want to go to this. So arg1 doesn't exist, but we can increment p. We already know what p would have been. It would have been tilde, so we can kind of just ignore that. So we can probably go p plus plus. Maybe do that because I think it will complain otherwise. So just because we've got a tilde character. No, I think if we didn't have that, it would complain if we just had that. But if we had the brace, then it's that. Got the weird cold chin on one side thing going on today. It is what it is. Better than hurting. Right, so in here, I think I want to make this slightly bigger. We aren't doing a CD and stuff here, so I guess this is like it's kind of interesting that we have like an error. And like what are we kind of returning? We're returning like null. And maybe I kind of want to set the error at some point just to make sure like I can throw my own errors it's the problem with C is like you can't kind of throw an error because at this point here, I kind of wanted to say that it was CD that was failing. Because I guess if we go into dash, if we do the echo tool, if we do the cursedness and maybe unset home and do the echo tool, I don't know, it still works there. So it kind of knows, it knows the code just as is. And yeah, I wonder if like this, that one. Right. So yeah, I kind of want to say this is like an error. Um, so maybe I could say that it is an error. And in this case, we would be returning null, I guess. Is that like kind of what we have the whole time? Yeah, and then we just wouldn't do the rest. Otherwise, we've got an environment variable and we are expecting it to be in allocated memory. So we'll duplicate it. So we've got that same thing here. So I might make this error code, and this can be null, and potentially no, they're kind of fine. Uh, I realize like these can actually be in here as well. We have like a few cases. So we can have a case of that, got a bad case of the new lines, and in these cases we can just return null. Not that far. Just because it starts at that point, and we're not like kind of looping over it at this point. Like this is just checking the first character, which I am kind of happy with. So there is no arg to free in this case because we're yeah. So this makes like things a little better. Yeah, so we'll just need to know about this so we can. So we can just go P, I think. Maybe P plus one. Because we've got the slash. And is that kind of what happens if we do something like this? Yeah, like, because we could have like any, maybe not anything. Maybe it's only if it's a slash, but anything else, and we can change the hue to root. Would do a similar thing. Cool. So this is if it is a thing, and yep. That and do that, and so we don't really have an arg free, and so we just want to return this full path, I think. And that is the allocated memory that we've done. So we've just done like what there should be a standard function for. I don't know, like strcat I thought did that, but it is not the case. And what do we do in this case? So if we do this, we just want to probably do str do this. There's no arg to do. And I think um, yes, so changing everything to kind of E. So the arg, that should be a P. So it's fairly similar to the last one, but do that, and the CDing will be happening other thing. Otherwise, we are breaking out, and we will just return the whole thing. So we've taken the pointer to just after the, I think in this, we don't want these plus ones, but we do want that plus one. We don't want that plus one. Otherwise, in this case, we almost want to go P minus minus and then fall through all through default. And maybe bring that closer together just to signify. Because that is if we give like a garbage username, it will do something like that. So does this compile? No, it doesn't compile. Right, so we don't have error set. So this is kind of what I'm wondering. So the thing is, we were doing it in CD. We would just not get an arg if it had that thing in it. So I wonder, and it's going to be gross. We could probably do so read arg, replace everything with that, with read arg with command, and this first one we'll have to fix up. And if we do that just everywhere, so this is, maybe we can just set it to null. So signify we haven't read anything. And this one we were going to go char star. And so that way the error could just be well, actually, error we could kind of do a define maybe at the start of this. Define error, and it could be f print f and to standard error, and we'll have the command space and then the error message, I guess. We could change it so it could be like this as well, and this should also take a format, and like we can do something. I don't know. For now, I'll just call it a message, and we can pass it as a string. And this will be in charge of new lining, and we can do that. And now, error. Well, actually, I want to go here and undo error. So we don't have error in between. And now when we call error, maybe take off the new lines on these. Like, can we find that one? And really not that much, just that much. And that's fine. And that way we can have kind of an error thing that does that. And I think we had other things here, like exit command. We kind of have the same thing here, that this is a error. So potentially we could just have the name of the active command just known to just everything as a global variable, but it would make things like having background tasks and whatnot a bit trickier. But I mean, we do still have the error command here. And like, I wonder what happens if we do something like this. Yeah, so it treats that as a thing. But that's, yeah, I don't know. I remember I did it with the get PWN, but this insists on not having it as that. So like this will Bash will look up the right thing, and if we do it in sh, it also kind of does it from the right thing. Though, what if we export home equals temp and then do that? Yeah, so that's looking up home. And what if we unset home and then do that? Right, so it kind of does that. But it doesn't give an error that home's not there. But the cd command kind of did. Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering. What else has an error in the... We do pass around command quite a lot. I wonder if I'm just like shitting a bit too much. Yeah, maybe if home is not set, we can just return no. But like what? No, we can return SDR of that. So it will just return us a that. Otherwise, down here we kind of have a slash straight after. So I guess we would just return str dupe of what, like p minus 1. So back to the tilde and just give us that. Which the same, it would have been the same here as well. I kind of want to, see that would complain. Yeah, we'll swallow the tilde, assume it's done, but in these cases, if the tilde doesn't match, we'll go back to the tilde and then hit whatever the slash is, and we're still duping it, and this one will fall back to doing this. So now does that like it? Cool. So now if I go compile and run and echo tilde, it still does that. And what happens if we go cd tilde? Does that. Fun. Fun. So that kind of means that, well, actually, what's happening in cd? Cd, comma. That's right, we were gonna do something like that. But yeah, in the home, so it's like not getting into this point here, which is interesting. So maybe if I do a little debug session and break on main app main.c and maybe 69, get my numbers right. And so now if I go echo tilde, it should be here. All right, we're pointing here. So if we go next, I think I want to go display what he is currently. And so here we are going to switch on P, which is a new line. So the new line we kind of want to strip. So like this is like getting this default case. So I think first we actually need to check. Well, we kind of. Yeah, I think I do want to do a char star. What do you call this squiggle thing? It is the tilde equals p, and then we can do p plus plus. And I think this p plus plus, I actually want to get this this little line and change everything on there from start to p, and do that everywhere. Oh yeah. And so this will basically strip off any delimiters and stuff that we don't want at the end. Does that kind of make sense? Oh yeah, we need to set like rest and stuff. Yeah. So it wouldn't find anything like that. Well, where's this go? So it will kind of look through all the password entries, which like, oh gosh, like how many do you have on a default Ubuntu? It surely must we break that .main.c and back to this point, but down to I want to like not make any changes down to this point 125 125 and then I just want to redo everything that I had, so that's where I was at. Because that is a different line number. It's only one. I could have worked it out, and then we can kind of just continue. Right, so P is still that, but now P is that. Easy. So that means that we almost need to check whether it is a limiter, and if it is, then we do that. And I want to work out where we are setting our rest to in all of these cases. Because this isn't going to work. Right. So in this case here, we'll start with this one. We have done a like tilde user. Yeah. So here I want to do if str true of and string and character. So the string will be dlim and the character will be just star p. If this not equal to null, I believe it returns us a string, correct? Yeah. So if this not equal to null, that means we're at the end of where we should be looking. So we want to set a rest, and the rest is going to be like right. So this is just going forward until it hits its limiter. So while it equals null, we're doing that, and then the rest will just be wherever we are. So, gosh, here is where I was. So here we kind of want to just do the case like this, but we want to set rest to be something. So I guess we just want to do rest equals p plus 1, or perhaps even just p, because we know it's a still limiter, and then we'll just do the same thing there. And up here, if star p is that, we can probably just do the same thing, and it will be happy with that. Right, so what about that case is like a little different. Right, so in here, if home is null, then we don't really want to do that. We want to do that while this while line. Are we back where I want to be? No. Yeah, it was here. So we actually want to kind of advance forward into there, and this will be from 2, and I guess SDR come back to where I want. We want SDR in dupe, which will just be the size, and SDR in dupe. Do you do the terminating null is added after the end. So I think that is right. So tilde, this is going to be like start minus p. Is that what it was? P minus start. And like p minus tilde, I guess, is what we want. P minus tilde. Which tilde is just start, isn't it? Yeah. So we can probably just call this start and start. So we advanced everything, and then we say this is where we got up to, and then we duplicate the string just as is, and it had a character that we don't really care about. Otherwise, we do all of this stuff, and this is where it's interesting. Oh, there's a little cat come to see me. Not my cat. Right. So after that little pause, what do we want to do in this case here? We kind of want to not get this link here. We want to basically we've got a home. Yeah, that's fine. So we can still do this thing. So I guess in either case we can do this. And perhaps even it will be the same there. And so I guess the argling is going to be p minus start. And here we want to do an str in copy. And this can be start plus 1. And our n is going to be p minus start minus 1. We have to work out whether this is doing the right trick. I think let's try and work it out. So if we hit a slash, we don't really care what the rest is. We just want to copy the rest. So we scan forward until we hit something that is a space or a new line or whatever. And at that point we stop and we say the rest of this is not our business. So in there. Oh golly, I just thought like quoting these types of like you want to check for quoting in each character that you're kind of getting. But I guess what we could do is like have stages that we go through, which is, I think, how Bash does it. So it'll first check for the tilde, and then it'll check for quotes and stuff like that. But that way would require a bit more memory doing around. But yeah, because what I'm thinking is, so if we quit out of that, so if we do this echo tilde, we can actually go echo tilde, and then like, maybe if we say foo equals, something like that, something like this. Now, my test is that if I go echo tilde dollar foo, maybe it's like slash to make a bit more sense. If I do something like this, it will kind of print that, but not all the spaces. It won't have all the spaces. It'll just do that. But if I do quotes, well, if I do quotes around the whole thing, then it will do that, and it won't do but if I do the quotes slightly later, we'll still get all the spaces, but the tilde will expand. So it means that we've gone forward and we hit a point where, like the tilde, the quotes have started. So we kind of need to always be on alert for quotes. So I think I want to make a fix me check for quotes. And maybe when I'm also doing it here, we also need to check for it there. And there was another one up here that we should also check for. Gosh, do we want to do that? No, I don't think we want to do that there. Hmm. I think you don't want to do this because, like, basically after the tilde, we don't want to move the pointer. We want to have the pointer where it is because it might be a username. But I think I want to pull this out into if str true of p. We did want the p plus plus there. P plus plus because we had a P minus minus, yeah, we had a P minus minus at the bottom. But if we check for the string elim and check for the character, and this is not equal to null, that means that we should kind of just say this is the end of the road. And so that one won't be doing it there. And so here, if we hit a slash, we kind of do want to scan to the end, but we want to be alert for quotes while we're doing it. But then we can kind of work out the rest there. That seems all good. And so that kind of just brings us back to that. Did we do this right? No, so we're not setting a rest here. We set it there if well, so the default, we don't need to do this check at all because it's already happened before we even hit the switch. Yeah. But really it's if star p equals if we're at the end of the road. Cool. Right, so in this case here, we want to say where rest is going to be. So is rest going to be just after the length of the user? Well, rest in this case just doesn't really matter, but I think it is going to be p plus boolean. And in this case, we've got a user, then a slash, then a bunch of stuff. So I think in this case, we want to do this thing before we get started. Is that what we want to do? I think down here I want to just make this p equals tilde, p equals star. Make it clear that that's what has happened. And here, perhaps I want to say p plus equals len. So that's now going to be something like that. But I think I want to do this while loop. Well, actually, no. That's not going to be there, but it is in this case. But I think I wanted to bring this out to be start p equals 0 or str true of dlim of star p not equal no. If that is the case, then we will do this. Then we won't do this, and then there's no real point of having an if case. So we can just do if this is equal to that, then we will do all of this. Speedier ways to travel. And so when we're in here, this is streaming to the end. Why do we check for the new line explicitly? That's just something we copied from there. But like, did delim just have like where do we? It'll be a main. So Delim does have the new line in it. So I guess I don't want to explicitly check for that, just to make it a bit clearer on like what's happening. And so this is like potentially already kind of sorted. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Slow days there, I think. Is what it is. So here we do the scan, but yeah, I think here um what is it? 7, which is there, and something like that. So while we do that, scan to the end so we can work out how much it is. If we don't find anything, give it the whole lot. Otherwise, it's going to be the whole lot minus the tools that we kind of took off. And then we do an in copy, easy. Which I think the in copy is saying that it will put the in terminating null on, but I don't know, it doesn't hurt to. In fact, this arg length is. And just go there just to make it a bit clearer. And then here, I'm wondering whether I want to do this before the tool. No, I want to do it after the slash, find the end. So this is going to be p minus start plus len. Something like that. So and then plus 1 maybe. So basically we had a tilde, then a user of length len. So we're at the tilde, we had a tilde, which would be the +1, then the user of length, and then that is where basically this character is. And then we get the difference between them, and then we make the thing. This will be an str in copy, and here we want to start from start plus len plus 1, and this is going to be len, which should copy like the rest of it, I think. Could have maybe broken things horribly, but it works. So I don't know. Let's have a little spinner. Maybe not in debug, but maybe in reset, please. Maybe just go back to running it. So if I do echo tilde, that works. If I do echo tilde root, that works. If I go echo something else, that doesn't do anything. If I do echo tilde q slash something, it'll do an extra new line. Maybe that's why I wanted this p not equal a new line. I've got it. Remembering things. Um, because we don't really want to include the last new line. But then, like, what happens if it's in that case? So I guess we. Yeah, it's still doing it there. So that's in the user. It's doing it, but it's getting an extra new line. So yeah, I wonder if like is that just the fix? It doesn't feel like it should be. Bizarre. So I guess we could do a little debug on this. Debug. If we do an app break on 1.4, they'll be running, and so we can get there by just doing something like that. So we could probably do a display on start and a display on P, just to see where we are. So we've done the while loop pretty much, and we get to just this character here that we're at P. So that should be what rest is. So we should get a Durlin Argland. So maybe I want to undisplay. Yeah, I don't really care about that. But maybe I'll display start plus len plus one, and maybe I'll print arg len. It hasn't been set yet, but it's now 14. Right, so this is not right. So yeah, I guess we want it to be like that, which I guess kind of screams at we could probably just say this is our start point. Yeah, we could even just say start equals p. This is where we kind of want to start going from, and here we can just say go from start. That should do the trick. So we get that, and that didn't quite do the trick. Right, so um I guess I need to do hello debug again, and where were you? 114 break at 114. Yeah, tummy's rumbling. Right, so if we run this and echo q slash, so why did you gobble everything up? So I think I want to display start. It's currently that easy. If we do this, it should just go to the there easy. So here we should get rest being pointing to the new line easy. Right, so we have a Derlan and an Arglen, so that should be it should be one, right? The Arglen. There's only one thing after the slash, and the Derlan should be 10 because password EW der should be 10 characters. Yeah, that's 5 easy. We get some memory. So maybe I'll do a display on full path just currently. So it's a bunch of nothing at the moment. So we copy in the path easy. And so here I want to copy like at that point there. Um, the dist, the source, and the size. Maybe I'll do a little. Hmm. So it hasn't put the null byte, but then this so we want Derland there. Echo dash q slash cool. That looks like it's doing some things. And if you put in the wrong thing, it'll do that. If you do another user, it'll do that. If you just do that, it'll do that. And like if you did something cursed and set home and then do the that has it echo we don't have things, but yeah, now it will just do that, but we can get it back by looking us up. Perfect. So I think that is worthy of maybe a test because I not that test the Codecrafters test that one. Not allowed to do that. All right. What if I like do this? So we do a bit of things. And we had to touch that. Yeah. And that changes a bunch of things. Goodness, it's because I'm in a curse shell. Move to expansion from CD to read makes sense. And now if we do the test, it will probably do the test. And I hope it hasn't like broken the error codes because they'll just be kind of annoying. That was one thing I was worried about, but then no, I kind of fixed that by yeah, yeah. It was in these cases here, but like so instead of erroring, I'm just like whatever. Who cares if you have a home or not? Yeah, so oh no, that's just getting all the way to there. How do we do 3D OS? I want to see all the tests. So if you only run a few, you only see that you haven't done the thing that you said you're going to do for the last hour. Cool. Looks good. So one push that up because I haven't actually dealt with quotes. So now that I've done this, I just want to check that there's only kind of two places so far that I check for quotes. So I guess at these cases here, I need to basically expand the quote, which is a little frustrating. Because yeah, you'll get like weird memory from places. So I think I actually do kind of want to catch it from here to start with. So this is in the default case that we basically haven't at a tilde. Well, really, that's the case. I wonder actually whether I split this out and be explicit that this is only checking for tildes and do the kind of checking later. Because yeah, maybe a better like kind of find the end type thing is doing something like hmm. So we only had to do it there. We also should probably do it there. See, works. Um, Pretty much every time we are trying to scan to the end, we want to check for quotes. And every time we expand the quote. So I wonder what order Bash does it in. Bash expansion. Um, Expansion. So brace tilde parameter variable command arithmetic with Boolean path name expansion. And so the order is brace tilde parameter and variable arithmetic command substitution with Boolean path name. Whereas the quoting after all these expansions of forms, quote characters present in the original word removed unless they have been quoted themselves going to be brace. Yeah, but like if you single quote it, the expansion doesn't happen, which is kind of the point of it. Um, Quoting. Routine. Right, so remove special meanings of special characters, do. Um, Single quote's pretty special. Um, yeah, it's kind of annoying. So, like, say we have something like echo A, B, quote, C, space, D, something like this. So we'll have a pointer to here pretty much. And we kind of want to progress it, but then at this point we want to say, oh, we've got a quote. So we want to get all of this, but kind of ignore the quotes. So I guess that means that we have to kind of remove the quotes. And so, like, is the quoting done first before quoting? So um, yeah, so I guess what I'm thinking is this whole function is kind of interesting. So I guess what should I do to start with is potentially do split this out into function. So we can perhaps do char star uh, quoted equals single quoted arg, and we can just pass it to the string and yeah, I'll probably need that and perhaps give it the rest as well. Um, and the rest will be useful for us at the moment. Um, and I guess here, if quoted uh, not equal to string, that means that some memory was allocated for this whole procedure. Um, but it might just be string. And I guess you'll also need to do something like that, double quoted one. So like you could probably have like kind of some weird edge cases. Like you could have like A, B in a quote, but like inside of this is a another quote that you need to ignore. Um, so I guess you would do the double quoting for maybe. Nah, like you kind of just want to deal with both of the quotes at the same time, I think. Um, so here you would have a little pointer. You point there. It's getting along, and you would say, "Am I a quote character?" If so, I'm going to do something. At this point here, you say, "I'm a single quote character." Cool. I will just scan forward until I find the single quote character that I missed up the top there. Um, and then that's done because that's now a space. And it'll kind of join it onto that A and return some memory for that. And if it is just a normal string like ABC, it will just return the same string that you provided it. If, however, you were like only scanning for double quotes to start with, you might go scan, scan, scan. Cool, I've got a double quote. I'll do all the double quote stuff here. And it would take away these double quotes. So you can't really do that because the single quote means you want to keep it. But if you had it, say, the other way round, so you had uh, you had something like this, and you did double quotes first, then you would do this, and the single quotes would stay in, but then you have a similar issue that if you only did the single quotes first, then you'd find here, then you'll deal with that, and then they'll disappear. So you kind of need to deal with both of the quotes to start with. And so here we want, we kind of want like another function that was doing similar stuff. And this could just return null. I guess, yeah, this could just return null, and that will be the case. But I think we want to do like a if statement that if p is equal to 2, we're going to do one thing, otherwise we're going to do another thing. So this is going to be that, but if it's going to be that, then we kind of want it to be from somewhere else where start is redefined. Yeah. Yes, so we kind of just want to do this, but I think I want to kind of do that separately. So uh, like you almost want to just treat it as a read to tag, and that is going to be that to them rest. And so the read to tag is gonna do some things to and it potentially will just return the same string maybe, but it will do some things here where the start will change. So yeah, I guess what I want to do is if it is tilde, we want to do all of the above. So we want to do all of this. Come on. I got something missing somewhere, but yeah, so I would want something like a pointer, and it's going to be extreme plus one. Do we still use the arrow? No, we don't even use the arrow anymore. So I wonder whether um, we find my thing where I did that uh, and replace that with that. And I wonder if I could do a dot star command and then it will also pick up that. But is that what I wanted to do there? Because here do we use command? Nah, so we don't really actually use command. It was just going to be for the error reporting, but I decided meth. Meth indeed. Right, so here we're going to have our tilde argument is going to be string like that, and I want to go down one more, and we're going to figure out where things have gone wrong. Right, so if it was just a tilde, I think I just want to do a return string. Or do I want to do an str? I guess, like, do I handle that? I think I'm handling that portion of it. Otherwise, if we hit a slash, I kind of want to char string equals read quoted and we're going to go from P because this is kind of like where we kind of want to read Yarg from. We'll take delim and we'll also pass it rest. And that quoted arg should kind of deal with things. But I guess if arg is the same as... Nah, I think that's all right. So that is kind of going to deal with that, and the rest is going to get set. And if we couldn't, so if we couldn't find a home, if we couldn't find a home, but we have stuff after, the stuff after might have quotes in it, and so we do kind of want to make note of that. So I think if arg is equal to p, that just means we can probably return. That's basically saying that it's the same as the string that came in. But perhaps I will just make a bunch of memory. We've got memory. And then here we will star ret equals, and so we're going to do like a... So this is when we have something like echo tilde slash blah, but this might have slash dollar for whatever, I don't know. And so we want to process those quotes. So if we yeah, I think if I equals to P, that means no memory was kind of made, but rest will get set, I think. Um, that means we can kind of just return no memory was made, but we will make some memory, and we'll make memory from uh, string from the start of the tilde, all the way up to like wherever rest ended up. Do something like that. Um, Otherwise, we have to do a little something different. So we kind of want something like, yeah, we can't. It's kind of gross because we've allocated space for a certain size string, and now we need to kind of allocate size for a string that's one more. Well, actually, two more. Actually, the quoted arg should always be yeah. So I think the quoted arg will just return us memory because it's gonna do the thing. So in this case, we kind of want to get that +2. So we want a null byte and then also the tilde. So we want to do ret 0 is equal to tilde, and we want to do an str cpy into ret +1, and it's going to be and we have space, and we'll have ret size t arg len equals str len of arg, and this can be arg len, and arg len +1 is gonna be 0. And then we're going to return that ret, but we're also going to do a free arg because we allocated some memory. So yeah, kind of a little gross that we kind of allocate memory twice, kind of almost like needlessly. It is what it is. Right, so arglen, we can say this is actually strlen of arg. And so we want to full path, do that, full path plus len, and this is just going to be arg. And so we can just say it's a str copy. And then we set that, but we should also do a free of arg. Just check things. Easy. Right, so I think that's there. Right, and so what was happening in this case? We get a user. And we just kind of know where it is. So this P is we do have a P. Yeah, we're just calling it start plus one. And if we're just at the end, we just dupe it. Cool. So we do this, and then we can get an arg, and we can read quoted arg, and we're going to start from and gosh, what do we have to give it? Just lim and rest. The lim and rest. So this should update our rest for us. So we don't need to do that. And I guess if arg equal to null, we can do this. So maybe we'll return null in cases where it's like an empty string. Well, not an empty string, just like a nothing's been pressed, like just an enter or something like that. Just a new line, maybe a semicolon. We don't really have semicolons yet. Right, in this case, so we do that. What if it's not the case? What was that if? That was if it was yeah, I think that is fine to keep as is. Otherwise, we only really want to do something if it has a slash, in which case we can get the arg, and that kind of just sets rest for us. And now our arg len is going to be an str len of arg. And this can just be arg, and it can be a normal copy, and we can do a free of arg. And so we don't need arg in this case because there is nothing after the username. So it all just gets swallowed up. Easy. All right, so that's kind of done that. So this is saying fall through to the default. So it's basically saying treat this as like just maybe we can just do an str do or like so this is if basically we don't have a slash after or we have gibberish after. Like basically if we have invalid user. So if we have an invalid user, then we kind of just want to return read quoted arg, I guess, and from the very start, and that will update all our rest and stuff. Cool. And so I think we can just almost just do that. And here we will just be doing that. And so the quoted string might end in a few places. So we'll go up to our quoted. So do we want this little text? So while we have a delimited character, will increment our starting point. Makes sense. So we're just trimming off all the white space before it. And now we're going to look at the first character. If it is a null or a new line, then we're just going to return null. That's kind of makes sense. Perhaps these can be done in an if, actually. If star equals that, or star equals that, we can do a new line like so. Otherwise, we have to do like a kind of interesting thing. So if we find a quote at all, we have to allocate some memory. That's just the gist. Otherwise, if we get to the end, we will not. But we have to allocate some memory anyway. So I think what I might do, because like the definition of this thing is kind of it's set to always make memory because we will free it somewhere else. That's just the contract, I guess you could say. But yeah, what I can do is I can have an array of characters, and this is going to be our rect. And we can make it equal some things, actually. We can make data equal to, well, maybe I'll do this in separate step. Well, I kind of want to do the calc, and we're going to have a so calc number of members and size. So we want number of members is going to be the length of our string. So we can probably do size t. Well, that's going to be like the max length, which like we might not need the max length. Maybe I'll just start with their initialized little boy. Right, so we'll get a pointer, and while we while our pointer is valid, I guess. So while it not equal to 0, and maybe str to the lim of p, while this doesn't have anything in it, that's all right. So we'll do a thing. So that's basically, we're going to be looping over some things. Basically, at this point here, we have a normal character. So maybe we'll do a switch over star p. At the end, we'll do a p++, otherwise we'll end this loop. So I think I want to do an array add of our rect, and we'll do a star p, but this will happen at some point. So probably somewhere in the switch. So if it is a double quote, then we'll do we have this? Yeah, so I think I just want these two things here, but headed out just a little. Cool. What was that one? That that's all right. Nah, I haven't checked on my keyboard yet. Sorry. Very good service. Right. So in all of these cases, we're going to do some things. The default, we're just going to do an array add. So this we have something going. Right. We don't have anything there. Cool. So while this is the case, we do that. If we hit a single quote, we go into probably a mode called single quote mode. So I guess we could have we could either have two booleans and I kind of want to have a quote mode equals normal. So we're going to define a type def and it's going to have a normal. Is that what we do? I think it is. And we're going to have a single and a double. And this is going to be a quote mode, what we defined it as. And take me back to where I want to be. Perfect. Unused. Right, so we'll do single quotes because I think that's what I want me to do. So in this case, I first want to check if mode. Well, actually, I might want to just do a switch on mode. And if it is normal, we are going to just set mode equal to single, and we'll probably do a p++. So we'll swallow up this. Well, in fact, it's already getting swallowed. When we break out of this switch, we'll break out of that, and then that will do a p++, and it won't do this array add. But then the next time, if it's a normal character, it will. So otherwise, if it is a single, this means the mode becomes normal again, and we go back to break. Oh, I've got the code chin again. And if we have a double, we will probably just do an array add of ret, and we'll add in the single quote that we have, because double quotes mean that we are kind of in there. And I think I will do a default unreachable, just to say that we have caught all the cases and it shouldn't happen. I'll chuck a break in either way. Right, so that is probably that. Right, so start not one. Is it because we have string? Right, so P undeclared. We could do something like that. That's not what I wanted. String. Do something like that. So I think this sort of stuff is now no longer needed from here, and definitely not all of that stuff. And I think all of that stuff is also fine. And so I think this is now going to be our read arg. So it's first going to check if it starts with a tilde. If so, it's going to do something. Otherwise, it's going to read a quoted arg. And we'll see if it's quoted. It might not be quoted. It might not be. And so in that case, we don't have that. Right, so we need to get rid of that now. Right, so um, I thought I was missing a thing. Reaches end of that. Right, so that means we just need to return ret.data, and it will take care of what we have. Right, so I think that's probably a single code. So I can probably do a little test and like maybe do a bunch of spaces and bn, and it doesn't do anything. Do we get anything at all? All right, so we've broken something pretty major. Yes, we now no longer have any thing going on. So I guess I will go to do we not read R? Break read. That's why my tab completion wasn't working. Right, so we'll run that. So I first wanted to see like why isn't ABC kind of working? Right, so we have a string that looks fairly good. Right, so it's not that, so it's going to return a quoted string of the entire thing. When we get to the start, do we actually like need to say that's the start? Like, what are we doing with the? Oh yeah, because we're kind of advancing where the start is. So I guess where is start and where is string? Same place because we didn't have any spaces, so that's all right. Hadn't actually done that part yet, so I guess where to start now, still the same place. That's good to know. Is it a null byte? No, so we start an array. Perfect. So I think I might want to do a display ret dot. Wow, can I just do a ret? And I wonder if it'll display the type that I want. Right, so we get a P. Maybe I want to do a display on just P. And maybe we'll give this a bit more space. So we, and I suppose because we've got it like this, we can do this. Right, so we're reading quoted arg. We've just returned. Right, I'm just going to restart that again. Now that I've kind of set up some things. So I want to step. P doesn't exist yet, so that's all right. So we'll start that. P is now starting at E. That's all right. Should we also display like the whole string? They're the same in my case, but right. So what is P looking at? It's E, and what does P str true of the lim of P return? That's right. Yeah, cool. It returns a char star. That is what it returns. So it's returning null. I think I want that check to be looping while it is null. Right? And I guess here we should also be doing rest equals E to say that's where I got up to. And that will be that. Maybe we'll try and run that, i.e. that kind of did things not super good. Right, so we allocated some memory and we like overflowed. We're trying to read a bunch of stuff. In what SDR true at 407, 407. Right, so command has gone skis. I feel like. Right, so we're trying to look at command, and it was re-quoted arc. So yeah. That should work. That should work. That should work. Well, I mean, it's not, but I guess how do we go about debugging this? And it was allocated in 394. 394. Yeah, so I guess I should do this debug a bit more and maybe lay out source and break read arg and maybe run that and echo ABC. So it's like failing at just getting the echo, which is interesting. So maybe we'll step and maybe break on read quoted arg and break on read tooled arg just because that's where we want to go. Right, so we've got a string. It should have that. We are starting at the same place, always good to know. Display our ret and display our like P maybe. Right, so we should get it perfect, right? So we're adding a bunch of stuff to array, perfect. We go up one, we get next letter, we should get C. And so we should see that. And then now it's at a point where that's too fast, so that's perfect. So the ret.data is allocated somewhere. So that should return it. And then it'll return from read arg. So command should be the ret.data, which should be the echo. It is. Right, so we check to see whether it's a built-in. It's not. So just check that we still have command, yeah. And here it like fails. Oh, is it because P command 4? So yeah. We don't null terminate our little string. So when we return from read, read versus when we return from this, we actually want to do an array ret and 0, maybe like that way. Right, and maybe quit this and try and just run it, echo ABC. Perfect, right, so now if I do that, that didn't do what I hoped it would. I mean, it stripped the quotes away, but it did not. Uh, I guess here I probably want to assert that mode equals normal. Um, and I think that's what's happened. Yeah, so it's hitting a thing. But if we are in that, we do that. So I think I want that or that. So if mode isn't normal or the character is that, and then it should skip over. So now if we go ABC and a bunch of spaces, it will put in the bunch of spaces. But if we um, put in spaces without it, it's like that. Perfect. And we can like try and like, is that kind of how Bash does it? Bash just tries to go to the current directory, which is interesting because like if we do cd dot, that's like the same. So maybe if in cd we could come on, we can uh, try and yeah, if file path, like maybe if file path equals 0, let's turn 0. We made it. I think that's kind of what happens. Um, we can't echo to see what the error code is, which could be useful. It might be coming up in the thing, but right. So I think there is double quotes, single quotes added. So we had a bunch of modes. We take away all that stuff that we did. And git commit add single quotes. So I guess how would we do the double quotes? So if we get a double quote, that kind of means that certain other characters have special meaning, um, which may come up in. Yeah, might come up in certain situations. Because I guess down here we would probably want to do select on case case on mode, and if we look at mode, no, we wanted a switch, not a select. Switch, and if we have a normal or we have a single, then we just do that thing. Um, Otherwise, if we have a double, I think I think here we'll do a break, and a default we will do an unreachable. We've gone to a mode that just shouldn't exist, which is like a developer error most likely, and that's me in this case. So I think in this case we want to do like a switch on the like character that we're on, because certain things might do different things. Well, actually, kind of what I want to do is maybe put the boilerplate. So I'll put the boilerplate in. And yeah, I think in just the default case, I'll do an array add something like that. And we can add cases to that, what it does. So if we do this, it hasn't changed anything. We haven't actually done the git push yet. So I'm going to do the git push to see what that does. Um, yeah, I can deal with that potentially soon. Right, so this test failed. All right. What did my test fail on? Whole thing. Um, CD still works, right? It doesn't. When did that happen? When did that happen? Um, odd. I wonder whether it actually gets there. So if we run that and hit it, no, we don't even touch it. So read our if the first character of string so we probably want to do the stripping of the string. So in read quoted arg, I do this type of thing. Um, so that I can do from start and start and start. So that, but yeah, now read quoted arg, so we assume that we get something from it every time. And we surely should because our only return is there. Right, so let's quit and run. We don't have that. Take me to string. Do we have that? Oh, that's all I needed. Echo ABC with like some spaces. Maybe I can do something like that. And yeah, it kind of joins it all together. That's beautiful. Um, and that looks like it works perfect. Jet add minus P. Fix the bug with stripping arms. And then we push, and then this should pass. And I think I will potentially stop there because it has been quite a long video, and I'll do the double quoting in the next. Yeah, gosh, have they still failed? Oh, well, that. Oh no, it's just running. Cool, test pass. Does it pop up with like a little saying that like go to the next one? I don't know, maybe I clicked on the thing. Um, all right, test pass. Can I go next? Move to next stage. Is that like a button? Oh, we need to submit. Oh, we haven't pushed. Usually a push work. Alright, I'll submit. And I think that will be that, and it'll run the tests again, and it will get me the stage complete. Perfect. I think that's that, and until next time, thank you very much for watching, and see you then. Bye.